First day cover means when a new stamp is issued, stamp collectors buy some and use them to mail envelopes to themselves on the very first day of sale, and the postmark proves the date. The envelope is called first day cover. Only a blank paper should be put in the envelope. Here you could see the first day cover. This is uh, an Indian cover. Here you could see the picture of Mahatma Gandhi, and here you can see the photos, the picture of Mahatma Gandhi on four stamps. This stamp was published on the first anniversary of Indian independence. Here it is written the date. Date is written 15 August 1948. Means on the occasion of celebrating the first anniversary of Indian independence, these stamps were published. And to denote the date, as well to mark the date or to record the date, this had been used as a first day cover, and these stamps were pasted on the first day cover, and you could not find any paper inside it, and this will be posted in the post office. And as a record, the post office they put the seal, the dated seal on the stamp, and this would be a permanent record, which date on which occasion the new stamps were published. So this is called a first day cover. So let us see. So the intention behind first day cover, I wish to tell you once again, the intention behind first day cover is the aspirants of stamp collection want to record on which day they receive the fresh or new stamps, so that at a later period anyone can easily identify on which date on which period the particular stamps have been published. So here also, and that day he could see a first day cover among the collection of the first day covers of his grandfather, and he found an old one, and he opened the old one, and he found, come to the next slide, he found someone mailed to grandfather at his home in Galesburg, dated July 18, 1894, and the letter's content, it was some was inviting Charlie to the third level, staying for 2 weeks. Means Charlie was inviting, some was inviting Charlie to the third level, and he informed him that he was staying there for 2 weeks. Surprising. And here you could see the address, 941 Willard Street, Galesburg, Illinois, July 18, 1894. Charlie. And the surprising thing was that the letter was mailed to grandfather, not to Charlie. Though the content was to invite Charlie, but the letter was mailed to grandfather. The reason. Our doubt is, why didn't he mail it to Charlie? The reason was Charlie was not born at that time. But the content of the letter, Sam inviting Charlie and Louisa to come and stay in Galesburg in a period of 1894, July 18, 1894. Look the difference. Charlie saw the newspaper The World when he reached the Grand Central. When he reached the third level, it was on June 11, 1894. June 11, 1894. This letter dated July 18, 1894, means 1 month's period, 1 month after. But one thing, we cannot find Sam's name or sign in this letter. We have to think that this letter itself is an imagination of Charlie. It was sure that among the collection of first day covers, there would be surely a first day cover dated July 18, 1894. But The particular letter, as mentioned, written by Sam Weiner, it would be an imagination of Charlie. That Sam had written such a letter, and Charlie found that letter from this first day cover dated July 18, 1894. So it would be an imagination of Charlie. Actually, we can have different interpretations. We can make different interpretations, but I will go on one interpretation only because otherwise the story may confuse you. You can have your own interpretations, you can have your own thoughts, you are completely free, but I explanation only because it should not confuse you. The story should not confuse you. So this is all about the story, the third level. So, by concluding, I want to say a few things. Just like everyone, Charlie also wants to escape from this modern world. He was not happy with the present world, and he wanted his psychiatrist friend Sam Weiner also to agree him. So he believed that his friend Sam Weiner he also reached to a time of past, means in the late 19th century. So this is all about the story, uh, the third level. Now in this there are two online links. First one is for the e-textbook which is available in the NCRT website, and the second one is a YouTube link which may help you to, it's a short clip of 3 to 4 minutes which may help you to have a better understanding of the story again. So please go through this second link as well. I request everyone to read, to have a first hand reading of the text. Now moving to the questions, let us go back so that it will help you to understand better. Do you think that the third level was a medium of escape for Charlie? Why? So this question is to you. So you have to think and give an answer for this question. Coming to the second question, what do you infer from Sam's letter to Charlie? I will give you a few points. I'm just giving you a few hints to come to the answer, which you have to mold it or you have to shape it and give a proper answer by using proper words, phrases, beautiful sentences. You have to give a proper shape to your answer. I will give you certain points which may help you to come to the answer. So the second question, Sam is Charlie's psychiatrist friend, the person who is supposed to cure Charlie from his mental problems or to give a solution to his tensions and worries. Charlie wants his friend or his psychiatrist also to agree that a third level really exists. So, this is what we can infer from Sam's letter to Charlie. Come to the third question. The modern world is full of insecurity, fear, war, worry, and stress. What are the ways in which we attempt to overcome them? For Charlie, it was stamp collection, it was imagination, living in a world of fantasy. So you can have your own, you can bring your own, or you can come out with your own points how you escape from the world of insecurity, fear, war, worry, and stress, or the different methods. So this question is also open to you. Now, fourth question, do you see an intersection of time and space in the story? Yes. Time is 19th century and 20th century. A connection between 19th century and 20th century, or clearly say Charlie's period is intersected with Charlie's grandfather's period. The space mentioned is Galesburg, Illinois. Whether it is 1894 or the 20th century, it is Galesburg only. The connection of Galesburg of 1894 and Galesburg of 1950s. So we can say that there is a connection between time and space in the story. Now come to the fifth question. Apparent illogicalities sometimes turn out to be a futuristic projection. Discuss. Science deal with many illogicalities which later turn to be logical. Some people's logical thoughts or illogical work may become a reality in the future. So the trial methods may be a futuristic projection of reality. As we discussed in the beginning of the story, before the Wright brothers invented aeroplanes, it was illogical for the common people. It was illogical for the people at a time to think that they could speak over a gadget to somebody from anywhere. So I'm just talking about mobile phones and the invention of aeroplanes. Before the invention of aeroplanes, the people couldn't believe that they could fly. And people never believed that they could speak to somebody who was very far away, thousands of kilometers far away. So these all could be considered as illogical in the past, but now we understood that they are all real. Now they are realistic. If Isaac Newton's thoughts of why an apple didn't go up was illogical, then the laws of gravity would not have been formulated. And the present condition, we have medicines for almost all diseases, but we don't have medicines or antibiotics against virus attack. That's why the pandemic COVID-19 spreads all over the world uncontrollably. It's uncontrollable. It is surprising. Our science and technology developed like anything, but still we don't have medicines to prevent virus. So what all things we would see or we would feel as illogical in the present world, maybe it would be a it would be a reality in the future. So come to the sixth question. Philately helps keep the past alive. Discuss other ways in which this is done. What do you think of the human tendency to constantly move between the past, the present, and the future? This is a relevant question. Very few people like to live in the present, which is the reality. People feel insecure in the stark realities of the world, so they try to take refuge either in the past or in the future by daydreaming, fantasizing, or creating a fictional world for themselves. Human beings, family, and work commitments force them to live in the present. But whenever they get a chance, they escape. The spread of COVID 19 creates worries, tensions, and fears in the minds of people. Many are mentally disturbed. Reality is not tasty enough to be chewed. So many try to move between past and future. That is quite natural. Come to the seventh question. You have read Adventure by Jan Narlikar in Hornbill, Class 11. Compare the interweaving of fantasy and reality in the two stories. So this we discussed in the beginning itself. Jayan Nalika's story, Adventure, it talks about that Gangadhar Pant Gaitonde he met with an accident, and while he met with the accident, he was thinking about the catastrophe theory. What would have been the history of India if Marathas won Battle of Panipat? But at the time of accident, he went to a unconscious stage, and his subconscious mind started working, and his subconscious mind took him to the past, where he could see a different India, a self-dependent India, a mighty powerful India, where the East India Company, they were in India just for trade relationships, and India was not under the control of Britain. But and when he came back to his consciousness, again he came to the real world. But here in this, in the story, the third level, the experience was somewhat same. Gangadhar Pant Gaitonde and Charlie, their experience was somewhat same, but Charlie didn't meet with an accident. Charlie was living in the real world, but at the same time, he was transformed to the past. He was transformed to a different world. He was transformed to the 19th century. So here it would be quite different. Though the experience was same, but the situations were different. So here the students, you have the freedom to think, to interpret, to study more about, and to give your own answer. Come to the next part. This is the vocabulary part. Here you can see the words and meanings, but the words and meanings, they are not properly connected here. Here you have to match the words with the correct meanings. Four words are the uptown, duck, angling, skin me. These words are based on the text. So first one, uptown, it means a residential area. So similarly, please identify the meanings of the other three words. This is a homework for you. Come to the next one. This is a worksheet for you. Identify prepositions. Prepositions of time. 18 questions are there. You have to identify the prepositions of time, which preposition is apt in this, and you have to note down in the notebook. Moving to the next question, there are a few short answers for you which you have to write. How many American presidents' names are mentioned in the story? Who are they? In the first part, stamp collection. Second, an American president's name appeared in the newspaper world. Third one, an American president's picture appeared on a stamp. Second one, what does the third level refer to? You know it very well. Which century the grandfather had lived? Why was Charlie longing to live in the 19th century? You would get the answer for this question from Sam Wayne's letter. We would think that it was written by Charlie, thought that it was written by Sam Weiner, and in that letter you would get some points why Charlie was longing to live in the 19th century. Which were the two major incidents happened in the 20th century? So these were some of the short answers which you have to write in the homework notebook. And one assignment is there for you. Write a short summary of the story in your own words, and word limit 150 to 200 words. So here comes the end of our lesson. Thank you.